死んだは初めて俺に伝えている。
絶望の匂いだ。
面白いこと見せようか。ほら、こんなに人が多すぎて。
お父さん。
あかん。
ドナルド君、まだ死ぬ時じゃないでしょ。
アメリカ、万歳、ファイト。
絶対負けないよ。
ランド、トゥライドまで。
出ろ。だってまだサンキュー言ってないでしょ。一回も言ってください。
おい、仲良くしてね。この世界、季節にいけるかな。昔グレートだった大きにまたグレートになるかな。あのさ、有名人なら誰かのマンコを掴んでいいさ。そう言い張らせるで。
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into Cobra Cast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Tuesday. A lot of news going on. There's a lot of stuff, again, just like every day on the internet. It's a crazy, crazy day. We're going to try and get through as much of it as we can on this short stream. Yeah, I mean, I thought that I knew what we were going to talk about, and then more news drops. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, we have a whole new group of things to talk about. So Ninth Evolution for $10 says, this was a brutal, dark few days, and your streams really brought comfort to many of us. Thank you, brother. Oh, I think I'm supposed to say you're gay or something. Thank you, Ninth Evolution. I appreciate it. It has been wild, to say the least, but I appreciate all of you. What's up, Demajanai? Let's see here. Packy Proton says, thoughts on Cash and his island statements? No proof. Yeah. We may get into that. That was it. There's just so many other things, but I did see those comments. The internet's having a fun day, to say the least, right now, because there's a lot going on. But the number one thing I want to focus in on is this right here. So the district attorney for Utah, they had a press conference and revealed a lot of the messages from the alleged suspect and his boyfriend, or whatever the hell that thing is. I'm going to be honest. You guys know I'm not some tinfoil hat wearing person. I call it like I see it. I'm just as honest as I possibly can. I don't know how, like, it's almost impossible for you to believe that this conversation is real. If you were to put all of the information that we have heard, or all the speculation, into Chat GPT, it says, hey, can you give me a conversation from the Charlie Kirk assassin and his trans weirdo boyfriend? It would have spit out this. Let's just listen to it, and you guys make up your own. You make up your own determination on it. I'm just telling you, when I heard this, I'm like, this doesn't sound like a real conversation. So let's just listen in. You guys can make up your own mind.
The roommate. Police interviewed Robinson's roommate, a biological male who was involved in a romantic relationship with Robinson. The roommate told police that the roommate received messages from Robinson about the shooting, and he did provide those messages to police. On September 10th, 2025, the roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Police found a photograph of this note. The following text exchange, then took place. After reading the note, the roommate responded, "What? You're joking, right?" Robinson, I am still okay, my love, but am stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you. Roommate, you weren't the one who did it, right? Robinson, I am. I'm sorry. Roommate, I thought they caught the person. Robinson, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. Roommate, why? Robinson, why did I do it? Roommate, yeah. Robinson, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. Roommate, how long have you been planning this? Robinson, a bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. Robinson again, I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. IDEK if it's had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the F will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel.
Yeah, Cattle Dog just said it. I mean, again, all I'm saying is, where's it at? It's convenient. It's very convenient right here. It does seem convenient. He says all of these details in the text. Like he's literally like, they arrested a crazy old man mistakenly, and then they found another guy that they interrogated. It's like, how would he know all these things? These are just questions I'm asking, okay?
Remember how I was engraving bullets? The F in messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notice bulge UWU on Fox News, I might have a stroke, all right. I'm going to have to leave it. That really effing sucks. Judging from today, I'd say.
Agent Orange says, Jesus Christ, not everything is conspiracy. See, you're emotionally weak. Like, I spend more time on this channel calling out the nonsense that I see, and I question one thing and you're already getting emotional. Just calm down, okay? If you disagree with me, it's okay. But you don't need to be emotionally weak, okay? There's no problem with disagreeing, but don't be emotionally weak.
A Grandpa's gun does just fine, IDK. I think that was a $2K dollar scope. Wink, wink. Robinson again, delete this exchange. Again, Robinson, my dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it is very unique. He's calling me, RN, not answering. Robinson, since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. Robinson, I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy for the sheriff. Again, you are all I worry about, love. That came from Robinson. Roommate, I'm much more worried about you. Robinson, don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. The search for Robinson.
So, yeah, I mean, listen, that's a lot. That's a lot of details that we just got. And my initial reaction to that was to just go, man, that is incredibly specific, all the way down to like the rifle and everything. But hey, we are talking about mentally ill people, a couple of mentally ill people. So I guess it's not that crazy, to assume that these people are that stupid. Is this another clip of more stuff?
Robinson's mother explained that over the last year or so, Robinson had become more political and had started to lean more to the left, becoming more pro-gay and trans rights oriented. She stated that Robinson began to date his roommate, a biological male who was transitioning genders. This resulted in several discussions with family members, but especially between Robinson and his father, who have very different political views. In one conversation before the shooting, Robinson mentioned that Charlie Kirk would be holding an event at UVU, which Robinson said was a stupid venue for the event. Robinson accused Kirk of spreading hate. Robinson's father reported that when his wife showed him the surveillance image of the suspected shooter in the news, he agreed that it looked like their son. He also believed that the rifle that police suspected the shooter used matched a rifle that was given to his son as a gift. As a result, Robinson's father contacted his son and asked him to send a photo of the rifle. Robinson did not respond. However, Robinson's father spoke on the phone with Robinson. Robinson implied that he planned to take his own life. Robinson's parents were able to convince him to meet at their home. As they discussed the situation, Robinson implied that he was the shooter and stated that he couldn't go to jail and just wanted to end it. When asked why he did it, Robinson explained there is too much evil and the guy, referring to Charlie Kirk, spreads too much hate. They talked about Robinson turning himself in and convinced Robinson to speak with a family friend who is a retired deputy sheriff. At Robinson's father's request, the family friend met with Robinson and his parents and convinced Robinson to turn himself in. The family friend spoke to police and reported telling Robinson that it would be best if he brought all evidence with him to the sheriff's office to avoid police having to search his parents' home. The friend also asked Robinson if he had any clothes that were related to what he did. Robinson replied that he had disposed of the clothes in different areas.
Again, there's multiple ways to look at this. But people that are on the left are very stupid. And regardless of if you question the details or whatever, I think we can all agree that leftism is a disease and it sends you down a terrible path. And you may think to yourself, man, nobody's that stupid to give all of those details. You would think. But guess what? Guess what? Have you seen this clip right here? Texas State at a Charlie Kirk memorial. The event was hosted by a local TPUSA chapter. And look what this lunatic does at the Charlie Kirk memorial on camera. I don't know how many of you have seen this. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen it, but this is what leftists do right here. He just said Charlie Kirk I think he hit in the neck.
He's not real. He's not real. He's not real. Oh my God. Everybody has my name is Oh, buddy. Fuck that nigga. You're gonna get expelled, dude.
And on top of that, now we have Greg Abbott says, hey, Texas State, this conduct is not acceptable at our schools. Expel this student immediately. Mocking assassination must have consequences. This is the definition of fuck around, find out. There you have it. Dang it, I just dropped an F-bomb. That means I have to drop gifted memberships. But this is, I mean, look, for them to go to a memorial. Like, listen, man, people are welcome to have their opinions. You are disrupting. You are going to an event that is meant to honor the memory of someone that was assassinated in front of college students over opinions. And for you to go and do this is simply insane. It's crazy. So I don't know if there's any updates on if this student has been located or identified, but yeah, I mean, so when you look at the text message exchange and you're like, is anyone this dumb? And then you go, yeah, they probably are. They probably think that Trump work is a Russian asset and all of these things because the media told them that it was true. They don't have any ability to think for themselves. So yes, they are this stupid. I do look at it and go, man, these messages are super on point. Is this really legit? Which I think is a fair question. But yeah, when you think about it, yeah, people on the left are that deranged and that stupid. So, you know, what are you going to do? Let me catch some super chats really quickly. John freaking Murdoch for $50 says, hey, Jeremy, caught your stream early for a change. Hail Unit 1 of Mossad Whale Corp. I think I listened to you because you do cuss. I, being raised on a farm and all, heard a lot of creative language involving chickens growing up. Mod lives matter. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. I saw someone in the chat says, is Jeremy going to go to Israel and kiss the wall? Well, there's two reasons I would do that. One, for the memes, because I know it would piss people off. And that in itself would be worth it just to piss people off. Secondly, if they paid me enough money, I would absolutely do it. So, yeah, you know? So, yeah, I would totally do it. Then people go, I knew he was paid by them. I knew it. So, yeah, for the memes and for the money, sure. Now, somebody's going to clip this and they're going to go, see, because of course they will. JRG Project says, sounds like the timeline of events was written by a Hollywood weirdo. Quite frankly, this goes in the we are in a simulation file. The jury is still out on that, by the way. Let's see here. Little Jim's Halo says, Timo Obama III embarrassed himself during the hearing. F. Blondie, the plant from Deep State, or bad actors, hailed Unit 199. Yeah, so Pam Bondi, in an interview with Stephen Miller's wife, she's essentially out there talking about hate speech. And listen, man, I don't know how many strikes that we're going to give Pam Bondi, but Pam Bondi has proven to be a complete and total disaster. Now she's pushing hate speech nonsense. Do you think MAGA wants to hear anything about hate speech online? Are you kidding me? I mean, I just couldn't believe it. So yeah, this is just like, she just continues to make mistake after mistake after mistake. And the fact that she's bringing hate speech up is a huge red flag. AJ says, I made a TikTok post honoring Charlie Kirk, and all the comments are people celebrating his death. TikTok is a problem. I mean, again, you know, my stance on that is like, it's not so much TikTok. It's just like I will say, like with TikTok, I don't spend much time on TikTok, but what I do see TikTok clips on Twitter, I see a lot of pro MAGA stuff. Just like I see a lot of anti-MAGA stuff and SJW stuff. I see a lot of pro-MAGA stuff that comes from TikTok. Now, again, I don't spend time on TikTok, but I see a lot of people uploading pro-MAGA stuff on Twitter from TikTok. I don't see any pro-MAGA stuff coming from Blue Sky. I see nothing. And that's the problem. Like, you can be deranged and all of that and have your lefty views as long as there's, something to counter it. And I see a lot of counter on Twitter. I'm sorry, on TikTok. I don't see any counter on Blue Sky or Reddit at all. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like Reddit had like this massive, was it the Donald Reddit that was taken down? Was it after 2016 or after 2020? It was a massive subreddit called the Donald. And I believe that Reddit took it down. It was one of the biggest subreddits on the entire platform, and they completely took it down, if I'm not mistaken. Phil for 999 says the left has a chance right now to admit the leftist ideology is the problem to our society. They won't, which is why I ignore them when they say, let's turn down the temperature. Yeah, absolutely. Phil says the armed, gaze of SLC funded by UN and State Department. Darth Manic says, going to a Charlie vigil in Wichita, Kansas. I'll send a prayer up for all love and respect. Hey, man, appreciate that. Lord Botha says, Beardo about Jeremy. He's almost there, chat. NDI says, I'm not anti-Israel, but did you see Candace say Kirk told her about a meeting where some important Israelis told him to stop talking against them? Yes, I saw Candace. I mean, if anybody believes that, that's their prerogative, okay? I think it's absolute, like, it is nuts to see that stuff. Like, it's absolutely crazy. So I saw that, like, someone that worked for Charlie Kirk someone reached out to the three main people that worked with Charlie Kirk, and they all said that they all debunked what she said. The people that were in the room with Charlie, they all debunked what she said. And then now people are calling them bought and paid for by Israel. I'm like, okay. Like, at the end of last month, Charlie Kirk made a tweet basically saying that there's no place for Jew hatred in the world. And go into the comment section of that tweet. The same people that are now telling you how much they loved Charlie were in his comment section saying he was bought and paid for by Israel in that comment section on Twitter. And now they're pushing the whole narrative of how Charlie was waking up, guys. Charlie was waking up. I'm like, oh my goodness, dude. The delusions are insane. But it's a huge movement. There's no doubt about it. There's a lot of people talking about it. Daniel says, who names their child roommate? NDI says, no assassination has ever been just a lone person. Imperial Fist Stan says, as Gen Z, do you know how much online Gen Z yaps about everything, especially online? I can 100% believe that he would say these things. Yeah, that's not a bad perspective on it, for sure. That's not. Let's see. Taryn the Black says, remember, Jeremy, these folks are in their 20s and probably can't live without their phones. The disciple of Rock says, to be fair, a lot of killers are narcissistic and probably checking social media for updates. It wouldn't surprise you for him to gloat about it. That's fair. Keenan says, did you quit school to go straight into working? I did. I was, school does not, like, the structure of school never worked for me. I feel like especially further education is a scam. I feel like college is a scam. And this is just my opinion. I'm not telling anyone what they should or shouldn't do with their lives. But unless you're going to college to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, I feel like college is an absolute scam meant to put you in debt and essentially make you work to pay that debt for the rest of your life. I think college is an absolute scam. And I think high school is a scam to some extent too. I think public school is a scam, but that's just my opinion. The structure of school does not teach you about the real world. They teach you about the things that they want you to know, but they don't actually teach you about things that you need to know about in order to succeed in the real world. And so to me, that's why I call it a scam. Eli says, I had to report family over this event. Sorry to hear that, man. Bilbo Teabag says, check out the video on YouTube called Most Alabama Man in the World. I can't picture anyone but you. Love you, Jeremy. No hobo. You know what I mean. Hail Unit 199. I have seen that video and it's pretty funny. It's pretty good. Brockatron says, what do you think when you hear people say Trump's video on Charlie is AI? You talking about the one where he was at his desk? I mean, I have heard people criticize Trump saying that Trump, hang on. Wait a minute. No way. Hang on. ABC News says the text messages between Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson and his transgender boyfriend are very touching. What?
We have seen an alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon, where it was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate who is transitioning calling him my love, and I want to protect you, my love. So it was this duality of someone who the attorney said not only jeopardized the life of Charlie Kirk and the crowd, but was doing it in front of children, which is one of the aggravating circumstances of this case. And on the other hand, he was, speaking so lovingly about his partner. So a very interesting and, as Pierre said, riveting press conference, David.
It was tough.
That is unreal. But not surprising, mainstream media trying to make this person out to be the victim. They're going to try to build a narrative that this person is the victim. What? Oh my goodness, dude. You do not hate the media enough. You don't. Like, this is the language right here. This is how they poison people's minds. This is how they do it. Like, remember when Whoopi Goldberg, I think, or one of the View cows, they were basically saying how I think it was the RNC, how having Trump up there with his family humanizes him. They're trying to humanize Donald Trump, and it's like, he's the former president of the United States of America, and he's the current front runner for becoming president again. And you have a problem humanizing a guy that, 60, 70 million people support in this country. They have a problem with that. Oh, they're humanizing. They're humanizing an assassin. They're humanizing an assassin, and they're okay with this. Oh my goodness. You do not hate the media enough. These are the worst people on the planet. Goodness. There was something else I wanted to show you guys if I could find it. This is awful, man. Yeah, this is blowing up. This clip is blowing up. Everybody is talking about this clip now, as they should be. So touching. It's so wonderful, everyone. Hang on. This is what it reminds me of. Hang on. Let me find it. This is what it reminds me of. I gotta find the clip though. Where's it at right here? But the way that it's delivered from Trump. You guys remember this clip right here?
When they took over Buttigieg, who has no clue, he drives to work on his bicycle with his, in all fairness, with his husband on the back, which is a nice, loving relationship. But he didn't have a clue. This guy didn't have a clue.
Trump. And he called him Buttigieg, who rides his bike with his husband and Crockett.
When they took over, Buttigieg, who has no clue, he drives to work on his bicycle with his, in all fairness, with his husband on the back, which is a nice, loving relationship. But
it's so disrespectful. And yet that's what Trump was memeing on, is stuff like this from the media. By the way, we just get rated by Real BBC or whatever as Gary. Thank you guys so much. Hail to the Real BBC. But when Trump did it, it was beautiful. It's excellent. Laughing Hafren for 50 says, after the House passed that bill and now it's going to be moved to the Senate, and now Pam Bondi and what she's been saying, and a House congressman wants to add a bill that if you criticize Israel, you lose your passport. What the F? I don't understand. Well, the part about Israel is not accurate in terms of specifically. That I think that was already debunked, but her bringing up hate speech is a huge red flag and a huge problem. So yeah, Pam Bondi needs to go. And MAGA, here's Pam Bondi. MAGA doesn't like Pam Bondi. I think there's still a huge portion of MAGA that likes Kash Patel, but there's a huge portion of MAGA that's kind of done with Kash Patel at this point. And listen, my problem with Kash Patel and Dan Bongino is that they act completely different than how they acted before they got in these positions. Now, you could argue, hey, they have to be more professional now. They're running the FBI. They have to approach these things in a lot more professional manner. Trump didn't change. Trump is still Trump. Trump is out there still, being Trump and roasting people and saying politically incorrect things. These guys just look like they have been neutered. And that's the problem. You go back to listening to how they talked before they got into the position, and they were aggressive. They were passionate. They were saying this is unacceptable. And they were calling out the current FBI and how the current FBI was acting. Now they're in these positions, and they don't sound genuine at all. And that's what I think a lot of people's problem with them are. It's a huge issue. Trump did have some comments today. So right here, Trump scolds Australian reporter for asking how much wealthier he is now since returning to the White House. I hope you can hear this.
Regarded to be the wealthiest man who's ever occupied the White House. How much wealthier are you now than when you returned to the White House?
Well, I don't know. The deals I made, for the most part, other than what my kids are doing, they're running my business. But most of the deals that I've made were made before. And that's what I've done for a life. I built buildings, like I'm building a building here. You know where I built? You know what? Do you see that area? Yeah. That is.
I know it's pretty low right now, so hopefully you guys can hear it.
Going to be the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world. And for 150, so it gives me pleasure to do it for the country, and I'm paying for it. I'm paying for it. The country's not, and that's an expensive ballroom. I think it'll cost $250 million, and it will be, I think, the finest ballroom. So for 150 years, John, do you know this? They've wanted a ballroom, and now they're going to finally have it, and it's going to knock your socks off.
It is appropriate, President Trump, that a president in office should be engaged in so much business activity.
Well, I'm really not. My kids are running the business. I'm here. You know what the activity, where are you from?
I'm from the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, Four Corners program.
Love the Australians. You're hurting Australia, right? In my opinion, you are hurting Australia very much right now. And they want to get along with me. Your leader is coming over to see me very soon. I'm going to tell him about you. You set a very bad tone. Go ahead, John.
I'm going to tell him about you. You had a very bad tone.
You can set a nicer tone.
Quiet. All right. He went full Cobra Kai on this. He went full Cobra Kai. Quiet. That's my president right there. That is my president. Oh, it's so good. So the ABC News is getting a ton of traction right now. We also have a lot of news surrounding the left-wing political streamer Destiny. And Destiny's getting called out by everyone right now. Try to find it. So basically, Destiny puts this tweet out. So Elon Musk is calling him out. Everyone's calling him out for his behavior, especially yesterday on the Piers Morgan show. Destiny tweets out, "Unreal. Elon Musk and other conservatives just got me banned on Twitch. My entire income is gone now. So much for the party of free speech." The problem is that he's lying. He's lying. As Pirate Nation says, Destiny claims he was banned on Twitch. He was already banned in 2022. Is trolling people who don't follow him and was celebrating it. He streams on Kick. Honestly, like, this is the thing, man. Destiny is loving all of this attention. And this is what a lot of the people that are going after Destiny don't get. He eats it up. He's really good at this. You can think whatever you want. And I think he's a terrible person. I think he's awful. But he is really good at this. You have to understand who you're dealing with. And this guy and the audience that he has, they're eating this up. And that's just the truth of it. Even Donald Trump Jr. is calling out Destiny. And he's loving every single second of it. Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump Jr. Yeet right here says Destiny is one step closer to being called out by Trump after Trump Jr. called him the mainstream of the Democratic Party. So, yeah, I mean, and if you don't think Destiny is loving the attention he's getting, you don't understand Destiny at all. He's loving every single bit of this. Now, the question becomes is what happens to these guys? And I don't really know the answer. I don't know what will actually happen to these guys. I don't know if, like Hassan, it's clear that Hassan has broken every TOS imaginable on Twitch. I mean, if I go to Twitch right now and just say that men are men and women are women, that's me violating the terms of service, and I will get banned immediately. I will get banned if I say men are men and women are women on Twitch. I absolutely will. Yet Hassan has said the worst things possible, legitimate threats of violence and everything, and he is one of the top streamers on Twitch right now. So, but yeah, I mean, Destiny's eating this up, all the attention he's getting. But I will say there's one point that somebody made about Destiny that I think is pretty accurate, and that person is another pretty big content creator named Shoe on Head. And she said it best that Shoe on Head thinks Destiny does more recruitment for the right than any right winger. I don't disagree with Shoe at all on this because Destiny has his fans and they're going to support Destiny, and that's fine. But you're not going to scale up. In fact, all you're doing is you're creating more people on the opposite side. So this is why my argument continues to say when your enemy is making mistakes, let them. Don't interrupt your enemy when they are making mistakes. Don't do it. Let them keep doing it because it does only help the greater good when stuff like this happens. Nobody's going to, like, generally speaking, people are not looking at Destiny's behavior and thinking, wow, I got to go support this guy. They're not doing it. You'll have some people that are going to go over there and everything, but generally speaking, people are usually like, I don't want anything to do with this. Let's see here. I'm not your buddy guy for 10 says Destiny is a psychopath who should be locked up. Hassan is a jihadist who has been doing his best to bring down America from within. Well, yeah, I mean, if you remember, Hassan, famously said that, America deserved 9/11. That's directly from Hassan. Like Laughing Haffron says, but yeah, like I said, God bless you, man. Just don't understand why we can't be America first and have to deal with politicians that just want to be part of foreign governments. Not all just some confusing, or just some confusing, but God bless you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well, man. I know you've had a lot on your mind lately. I'm not your buddy guy for 10 says, words live by. You do not hate the media enough. I genuinely have lost all sympathy for the left. These people are lost. How can we coexist with people who gleefully desire our demise? It's true. And again, I know we've got more people that are watching right now, but this clip is getting mega attention right now. And it's from ABC. Let's see. Let me find it. I just had it. But ABC is getting absolutely roasted for this clip. It's going mega viral. And of course, the moment that I need it, I can't find it because that's just how it all goes. Let's see here. I just had it bookmarked. You go to this one right here. Boom. Okay. ABC being very sympathetic to, of course, the assassin and his trans lover right here.
An alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon, where it was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate who was transitioning calling him my love, and I want to protect you, my love. So it was this duality of someone who the attorney said not only jeopardized the life of Charlie Kirk and the crowd, but was doing it in front of children, which is one of the aggravating circumstances of this case. And on the other hand, he was, speaking so lovingly about his partner. So a very interesting and, as Pierre said, riveting press conference, Dave.
So this is the media trying to position their next Luigi Mangione or whatever that guy's name was. This is the media trying to position him as the sympathetic cult figure for the left. That's what they're doing. Make no mistake about it. That's exactly what their play is here. There's no other reason to do this than that right there. Insane. What is wrong with these people, man? The media is evil. My goodness, man. Okay, so lots of reaction from this oppressor is going on. We covered that earlier in the show. If anybody is just tuning in, we covered the district attorney from Utah talking about all the messages from the assassin and his trans lover. I definitely have some questions about it, but overall, when you're dealing with left-wing lunatics like this, it does make sense that they would, they would show the world who they are. So that doesn't surprise me at all. Also, I gotta say, man, the people that hate Charlie Kirk, when we talk about how stupid the left is, I have another example for you. So this person right here says, right here, before you lose your shit, this is what Charlie said about George Floyd. Quote, I don't care. Quote, he's not a hero. Quote, he's a scumbag. Quote, he shouldn't be celebrated. Thank you for making me like Charlie Kirk even more. I mean, yeah, literally everything Charlie Kirk said, I think we all agree with this. So, that's why I like this posting Kirk's W's. That's all it is. Okay. So I don't even know if he said that or not, but the fact that they are, and again, if he did, then I agree. Again, do I think that George Floyd should have been, do I think he should be dead? No, absolutely not. I'm not celebrating the death of anyone. But last time I checked, when you put, drugs in your body, bad things happen. That's why I've never done drugs in my life. It's why I don't smoke. It's why I don't, drink alcohol. I don't do these things. So, Bad things tend to happen when you do drugs. So not a complicated situation, to say the least. So again, if he said it, that's, I agree with it. I don't know if he said it, but this is what the left does, is they take these statements, and a lot of times this has been a classic thing lately, is they brought all of these comments that Charlie Kirk has said and they've positioned them out of context to feed that narrative. And yeah, I mean, I've been seeing a lot of that stuff on the, on the side of, man, the monetization of Charlie Kirk's death from the anti-Israel side has been wild as well. Just seeing how they take something that Charlie Kirk said and they intentionally add to the headline that they're creating that Charlie was talking about the Jews when there's no proof of that whatsoever is crazy, dude. I mean, and people are just eating it up. It's freaking wild. And I mean, this right here. So why don't they talk about this clip from Charlie Kirk, since they're out there grifting off Charlie's death about how he was he was calling out Israel? Why don't they play this clip?
Thank you for coming, Charlie. And I had a quick question about anti-Semitism online. Another question here they asked about Candace Owens, and I'm a big fan of you. I was a big fan of her, but she's obviously been going down this anti-Semitic bent. And through her, I'm kind of finding out about these other characters online, like Nick, for instance. I'm sure you've heard of them. And these people, they've been active for a long time, and it seems like they've just been ignored, which is working. But now they're kind of surging in popularity. And as someone who I enjoy watching your debates, are they people you'd be willing to engage with and maybe shut them down in a way through a debate or something like that?
Well, I mean, I'll debate Candace. But no, look, I'll debate anybody that shows up at our campus events first and foremost. But I do want to take what you say and extrapolate that there is a corner of the internet of people that want to point and blame the Jews for all their problems. Everybody, this is demonic and it's from the pit of hell, and it should not be tolerated. Period. But it goes to a structural problem.
And I don't necessarily agree with listen, man, people can have whatever opinions they want. If they want to blame, they can do it. I like memeing on them not because I disagree with everything they say. It's because they believe that every problem in their life is because the Jews did it. And I'm like, well, I can't have a rational conversation with you. If you want to have a logical conversation about is there some issues here? Is there some? Yes. But the heavy majority of the people that are in that world don't have the ability to have a level-headed discussion at all. But I don't think they're necessarily demonic per se, like Charlie Kirk said in this clip. And I also think that people should have the right to say whatever they want, as long as they're not making direct threats. But there are a lot of direct accusations that I think are dangerous for sure, that are very, very walking a fine line, I'll say.
An entire generation that has economic resentment. They don't own anything. They're not getting married. They're not having children. They're depressed. They're anxious. They're staring at their screens all day long. And all of a sudden, your extrapolation of all that is, well, it's the Jews' fault. That is sloppy and shallow thinking. And not only that, they say, oh, it's the Jews' fault. Okay, let's kind of play this out. Well, tuberculosis, that used to kill about 1 billion people. It's a group of Jewish scientists that came up with the antibiotic that cured tuberculosis. How about CPR, the MRI machine? There's over 500 million lives that were saved over the last 50 years because of people that were Jewish scientists that were working on things. They'll never say thank you to the Jews, but they'll always say shame on the Jews. Weird how that works. And finally, they always blame the Jews for stuff. Jewish people are an ethnicity. So therefore, definitionally, you have people that are secular.
Somebody says, why do you defend Israel, bro? Well, first of all, I don't defend Israel, and that's the whole point behind people that are anti-Israel, is they have no ability to think for themselves. When have you ever heard me defend Israel? Find the clip. Find the clip, please, right now. Find the clip where I've defended Israel. But I do like to meme on the people that are always anti-Israel because it's just fun. But anyway, the point being is that we're not going to list the rest of this clip. If you want to find it, it's all over social media. But what I'm saying, though, is look at this. This headline This headline right here. This tweet has 10,000 views, 500,000 likes. She puts in quotation Jews when Charlie Kirk was not talking about the Jews. This is literally a lie. He's talking about Democratic politicians. Now, what's interesting is that this girl, someone in the comment section, that she posted this on September 15th. So she posted this yesterday. They posted a screenshot of her in Charlie Kirk's comment section last month, where she's complaining about the very clip that I just responded to. Isn't that interesting? She's complaining just a month ago, not even a month ago, less than a month ago, complaining, calling Charlie Kirk names. Yet now today, she's posting things that he never said, and people are eating it up. It's an amazing situation we are seeing right now. Now, another fun reaction that I saw today was, of all of the accusations, the fact that the Daily Wire guys were hosting Charlie Kirk's show today. Whoo-wee! You want to talk about setting the internet on fire? Yeah. So Ben Shapiro, little Ben Shapiro, and Matt Walsh and someone else from the Daily Wire, they were all in Charlie Kirk's studio today, and I was like, oh boy. So I couldn't wait to see the comment section there. So that was it's pretty. It was Michael Knowles, yeah. And to be fair, of those three guys, I don't man, what is it about Matt Walsh? I've had my back and forths with Matt Walsh, but we squashed it. You know, we DM'd about it and everything. Michael Knowles seems to be the most level-headed Daily Wire personality. And Ben Shapiro is by far the most unlikable, in my opinion. Michael Knowles seems to be okay. And Matt Walsh is actually okay, too. Matt Walsh is just so weird on entertainment. He doesn't understand entertainment at all. And what's funny about that is Ben Shapiro actually gets entertainment pretty well. It's everything else Ben Shapiro says that I can't stand. But Michael Knowles seems to be the most level-headed person of the top-tier Daily Wire personalities, in my opinion. Let's see here. Laughing Halfren for 50 says, got a question for you, man. I know you do gaming streams with Locals members. I have that, but I wanted to ask if you ever do like a game like Fortnite or Battlefront 6. Or Battlefield 6, I'm sorry. And if I can ask, would you mind if I joined, probably hop in and chat? I usually play with Jay Hailstorm. Well, we don't do that. So I've had people like, the unfortunate thing is when you have, paying members and things like that, we always want to, give you guys opportunity to play games with us or whatever, but not in voice chat on a stream. Back in the day, we had somebody that joined the Mario Kart streams, and they specifically just tried to put like certain names of characters just to make the stream look bad. And once you have somebody do that, like, that's where you open up where people can jump in and just be like, oh, they'll say gamer words and all that shit. So that's a long version of saying, no, you can't join the voice chat. Not on the stream. Impossible. We can't do that. But I'm playing the games, absolutely. So, Moore for 30 says, Charlie loved Israel, and when it came to judging them, it came from a good place. He did not believe the propaganda like Beardo, haha. He wanted to reach everyone at no questions asked. Yeah, I mean, I was not a big follower of Charlie Kirk. I was not a big fan of Charlie Kirk. But and like I said, seeing all the clips of him and the stuff that he said at these debates was pretty awesome. And I can't speak to what he did or didn't believe, but based on all the stuff you see, it's clear that he was a pro-Israel guy, which is just like most powerful people in the conservative side. But yeah, he was starting to what I think Dave Smith said it best the other day. Dave Smith was talking to Myron Gaines, and Dave Smith said that Charlie talked to young people And Charlie was smart enough to recognize that young people in the conservative movement are fed up with Israel. And he was kind of mirroring those views to his audience as well, and also letting, people know, like, this is a problem. Like, this is a problem. And I do agree with the fact that it's a problem. It's a huge problem. And I think that the conservatives in the Republican Party, I don't know if they're aware of the problem or not. I find it hard to believe that they're not, that they wouldn't be aware of it, but I don't think that they know truly how bad it is. And I think that, I think Netanyahu, or whatever his name is, Netflix Yahoo, I think he is the source of a lot of the fact that this movement has grown so much, because he is so incredibly manipulative and unlikable. And like I said, he's the mall kiosk guy of world leaders, in my opinion. That's what he is. We've all had the interaction with the mall kiosk guy. You've all been walking through the mall, and all of a sudden you've come to the final boss of the mall kiosk guy, and you go, oh crap, we made eye contact. It's over. He's locked in. I can't get away. Now I have to buy something. And then like 5 more of them kind of like surround you, and you're like, I can't get away. And you're like, yeah, here, take my money. Just take my money and there. Okay. That's who Netflix Yahoo is. That's it. You're like, oh no. Inspector E for 999 says, no one will forget Kirk as long as weirdos self-snitch on themselves, and surprised that consequences exist. Legal Mindset recommends you report them to OSHA, HR, and are either woke or unreliable. Yeah, Legal Mindset has been doing great work. Legal Mindset has been doing great work. JB username says, just because you're a grifter doesn't make you a Jew. Gay, but not Jewish. I wish your audience would realize that. Thank you, JB username. Eric 410 says, Tyler turned his gay trans weirdo boyfriend into an accomplice. ABC, how touching. Yes, that's holy shit. That is exactly what happened. So this deranged leftist literally turns his gay trans weirdo boyfriend into an accomplice by telling him everything. And ABC's like, this is so beautiful, guys. Yep. That's exactly what happened too. Gosh, unbelievable. Unseen Dimension says, sounds scripted by them to give cover to the rest. Matthew says, I tried to convert this into shekels to make it more convenient for you, but couldn't. Just kidding. Love you, Jeremy. No homo. I appreciate it. Little Jim Halo says, these assholes want a hostile reaction from the right. They want full-blown war to destroy this country, but we won't play their cards. We will win. Mad Frog says he thought he retrieved the gun. He'd been in the clear. His DNA was everywhere. Yes, he's a retard. That is the most likely outcome here. Infinity Flare says, roommate text. I see people dismissing them, saying they read as fake, that no one texts like that. I disagree. Delusional white knights do. That's fair. That is a fair. Again, I'm not just going all in saying this is absolutely fake, but that was my initial reaction, is to, because I don't take anything at face value. And so I see this and I'm going, I heard the messages and I'm thinking, okay, does this sound legit? And I thought this doesn't seem legit. But the more you think about it, it's like, okay, I can at least understand it. Okay, I can piece this together. But my initial reaction was it didn't seem legit. John freaking Murdoch for 20 gifted memberships. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Hail to you. Pins fan for life says, I'm at the point of agreeing with Stone Cold. DTA, don't trust anybody. That is very good advice. Philip Beller says, Killer didn't mention feeling sorry for Kirk. President Ball says, Jeffrey Dahmer also had touching conversations with his boyfriends before he ate them. By the way, what was this? Did you guys see that trailer for that new, what's his name? Is it I don't know how you pronounce it. Ed Gein. Did you guys see that? Holy crap. I'm not going to play the whole trailer here, but like I'm telling you right now, watch the trailer for this. Bro. Okay, so I'm a fan of Charlie Hunnam because I'm a fan of Sons of Anarchy. I think Charlie Hunnam is a damn good actor. And this trailer is crazy. Like insane crazy. So I would play the trailer, but like I know we got blocked the other day for playing a Netflix trailer on Geeks and Gamers Daily, and we had to clip it out. So it is a extremely disturbing trailer. I recommend going and checking this thing out. It looks crazy awesome. So, let's see where we're at. Zinni Biscuit says, Dear ABC, what the F? Unseen Dimensions is Tyler and his BF definitely planned those texts. Kevin Spears says, I'm 45-year-old vet. I've been against religion for 40 years. I'm going to church this Sunday. I know I now truly feel spiritual evil is real now. Dude, that is awesome to hear. That is awesome. How can that not inspire you? That is amazing. Love hearing that. ARX says that Destiny just got banned from Twitch. He did not. He's been banned since 2022. He just posted that to troll. And Destiny's good at this. See, this is what I don't understand about like a lot of influencers. Like, I have no problem admitting that Destiny is good at what he does. I don't like Destiny. He's good at what he does. And there's nothing like he is very good at twisting and manipulating any situation to his advantage. He's good at that. Nick Fuentes is a phenomenal communicator. You don't have to like Nick. I'm not a fan of Nick, but if you don't think Nick Fuentes is not an incredible communicator, I don't know what you're watching, because that dude is an incredible communicator. He absolutely is. I don't really know what Hassan's good at, so I don't know what Hassan is good at. So that's where I do run into a problem there. I'm like, I don't know what Hassan's good at. So, yeah, I can compliment Destiny Fuentes, but like I get to Hassan, I'm like, I don't know what he's good at. He's not a great communicator. He's not charismatic. He's not smart. I don't know what he's good at. I don't know. Beardo Fat says the old guy arrested first said he shot Charlie. Turns out he had CP on his phone and tried to obstruct justice. I saw that. It's crazy how much is happening right now. The Laughing Halfren says, okay, last one. Got to save for rent. I'm pro-American and Christian. I do not care about Israel or other foreign governments. A lot of young people are just sick of Israel. Focus on America. That's pretty much my stance too. Like again, anything that I say that like I've never said anything pro-Israel unironically or without memeing, because I like to meme on it. But yeah, I'm never going to Israel. I don't care. It has not. I have no allegiance or whatever. I'm not pro or anti-Israel. I'm just whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. The only thing I see is, you know, when I see people like Ben Shapiro who clearly love Israel more than America, I just go, why don't you go live there if you love it so much? I think that's a valid question to ask him. If Ben Shapiro loves it so much, go there. Like, if I'm a multimillionaire like Ben, I'm not going to go move to Montana and tell you how much I love Florida. I'm going to be living in Florida because I love Florida, because that's where I am now. I love the state of Florida. I'm not going to go to Montana and go, I love Florida. Well, then effing go to Florida. Why are you in Montana talking about how much you love Florida? Just go to Florida. Simple as that. Phil says, donate 10 gifties or you love men. Well, donate 10 gifties then. Yes, Florida is an open carry state. Florida is awesome. It really is. All right, here's my 10 gifties for dropping the F-bomb and for proving that I don't love men. So here it is. Boom. And boom. And there we have it. Boom, there's my punishment. I'm not your buddy guy says, this is why I rooted for Robert Barnes to be the AG. He has the resolve and know how to take on these radical leftists. Pam Blondie is a terrible AG. I wanted Matt Gaetz. Phil Butler says, Destiny sucks. Ask Nick. Benjamin says, towards Jeremy Swear Fun. Richard says, bring back asylums and call it the Destiny Act. Krog says, just wanted to say thank you for your service during mine. Half-Life Alex, hardest difference with, is that right? You're talking about Half-Life Alex? Hardest difficulty with 0 death, restart. I passed the test twice, listen in a lot. Hey, that's awesome, man. I have not played Half-Life Alex. I want to. Slain Hope says, the commie media wants us all dead. Phillips says, sounds like Smeagol talking to, listen, where did it go? I just lost it. But I got what she's saying. Fantastic Stock says Trump needs to look into Robert Iger next. Patriotic Gestalt says, hope I'm too late, but shout out to Cash for shutting shift down today. Hail the 199, hail Cash, hail Trump. Thank you, brother. Brother Natural says Israel's pro-trans movement. Most of the original founders of the adult film industry were Jewish. A lot of Jewish people are PDF files. Yeah, I mean, you could say the same thing about Americans if you want to build that narrative. Like, look at all these fucking weirdos. That cussed again. Look at all these freaks from California. Look at all these freaks in New York. Like, again, if you want to build a narrative, you can build a narrative. You can build it all day long. I got to drop gifties again. I don't like this rule about I can't drop F-bombs and I got to drop gifted memberships. I don't like this at all. This is going to be a very expensive situation for me. I wanted to say it again because I'm mad at myself. It does not apply during Mario Kart. All right. Slain Hope says, did you see Tim Russ's Kirk tweet from today? I did not. Moore says, agreed 100%. Eric John says, did you see Jamie Lee Curtis video? I read the transcript of it. I didn't see the video. We may cover that on main event later. Fantastic Snuck says, so apparently the first guy who got detained when Charlie got shot, he got arrested for materials that pertain to PDF, to child, whatever on his phone. Yep. Joe C says the old man, George Zinn, who was shouting he was a shooter, has just been charged with obstruction and, wait for it, possession of you-know-what. Yep. Lord Bibby says, doesn't Destiny eat you-know-what? Listen, I don't know what I don't know what Destiny's sex life is, and I don't want to know. I've heard things, though. Matt Frog says Hassan's good at running from Candyman, Sam Hyde. That's true. Delta Entertainment for 50 says, what's up, Jeremy? Sorry I'm late. I'm at work right now listening to your channel. Thanks for getting my Twitter message. Hope you enjoyed the video. I sent Hail the 199. Thank you, Linko Kenobi. Appreciate that, brother. Saturn Dreaming of Mercury for 5. Get the memberships. Thank you. Unseen Dimension says, when criminals lie to detectives, they include too many details. Your initial instincts were right. There is no way the boyfriend didn't know beforehand. Butter Framed in Gold says, leftist women, if you call them that, thinks Hassan is attractive. I will say that's one of the downfalls of women voting is that they vote for the man they think is attractive. Yeah. That's how you get, wasn't there this thing where all these Canadian women said that they thought Justin Trudeau was attractive, so they voted for him? All these women think that Gavin Newsom is attractive, so they voted for him. Yeah. Yeah, we're screwed. We're screwed. Good job, women. Good job. But of course, you can make the argument that the reason that Donald Trump was elected is because he is 6'3", 215 pounds, a young, vibrant man.
I just feel like a young man. I'm so young. I can't believe it. I'm the youngest person. I am a young, vibrant man. I look at Joe. I don't know about him. I don't know. Macho man, yeah.
Young, vibrant man, 6'3", 215 pounds, ripped, shredded alpha male. You may not like it, but that is what peak male physicality looks like. Legalize adulthood for Proper 199. Israeli Whale Defense Force Unit 199 checking in with more shekels for your Mossad operation. It still doesn't feel real that Charlie Kirk is dead. However, a switch has been flipped. This both sides crap no longer flies with anyone. Prayers for Erica, Kirk, and her friends. Thank you. Legalize adulthood. And also drops 20 gifted memberships. Proper 199 means Sydney Sweeney time. Everybody likes it when Proper 199s show up in the chat. Everybody gets excited. Everybody's anticipating the moment where Sydney Sweeney shows up for the celebration. We all love it.
Should I do it?
Do not come.
I'm going to do it.
Do not come.
I'm going to come.
Thank you, Legalize Adulthood. Hail to you, brother. Wilfredo Torres says, I know you donated to prove you're not gay. I don't believe you. Let's see. East Coast Toasted Boy says, Dan Vance got a membership from that. Well, that's pretty funny. Dan doesn't deserve it, though. Eric K says, thoughts on Arctic frost. What? The Price is Right review says, sup, Jeremy, been a while. For me, there's a lot more bigger players at play in CK's offing. My gut is burning because a lot doesn't add up to me. Well, you know, I mean, ultimately, it's hard for me to believe that this absolute retard did it by himself, but I don't know, man. I guess we'll see. But I understand people having concerns and thinking that there's more to it. And I think it's okay to have those concerns. I think it's okay to ask as many questions as possible. It just needs to be based in something of substance, you know? Red Mage says, isn't Destiny the one who's into... I don't know what Destiny's into. I really don't. I have no idea. I don't even want to know, to be fair. John freaking Murdoch for a proper 199 says, because of legalized adulthood and because Jeremy is gay, prove me wrong. Also, happy Jessica. You guys are crazy, man. You guys are crazy. I don't understand it. I really don't. Thank you, John and Legalize Adulthood. Says, Matt Frog says, what would you do if Netflix Yahoo offered you $150 million? I mean, what would I have to do? I mean, I guess that's the question. What would I have to do? Like, I mean, am I going to have to do gay shit? Then no. So, you know, but what am I have to do? Meat Bun, a new member. Thank you so much. I don't know, Harley Dave. I don't know why people give me money. I don't know. Irish Rhino says, how goes no swearing? Was just getting caught up with last night's Cobra Cast when you went live. Hail chat and thank you, Fig, for what you do. It's not going great, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to. So I'm trying. I've dropped 2 F-bombs today. JRG Project says, reality is often stranger than fiction. That's why it has hit us so hard. Russell says, God bless America and God bless Snake Pit. Stefan says, would his parents let him fall as a patsy? I kind of doubt it. Zero says, F these people. Scroats Mago says, Destiny is a turbo cuck. He's graffitied by your hatred, or gratified by your hatred. The only way for him to win is to ignore him. Andy says, check that reporter's hard drive. Cultural Breakdown says, Jeremy, the only reason you're on YouTube is because you couldn't cut it in retail and you're a terrible forklift driver. Now that is offensive. Grego says, Israel supporter tags sarcasm. Mr. Donaldson says, please read F gifties, please. You almost got me. Beardo Fat says, check locals. Ort. Eric K says, look up Senator Chuck Grassley. Aaron James says, I believe Charlie was hit from his right behind him. There was zero sound delay. The speakers also concealed the direction of that shot. Yeah, I have not watched that shot too many times. I've been trying to avoid it as much as possible because it's just difficult to watch. So I've been trying to avoid it. Over on Rumble, Bronxonite says mocking or celebrating political violence or assassination should be treated as incitement because it incites other crazies to feel validated, incentivizing more of that behavior. I agree completely. Okay, we have Tuesday night's main event coming up over on Geeks and Gamers channel tonight. I don't have a link set up, so I can't raid that. But if you are not subscribed to the Geeks and Gamers YouTube channel, if you're new to what we do around here, this is where we will be live in about an hour for Tuesday night's main event. So if you guys want to hop over there, you can. But I don't have an event set up, so you know, we'll see. But yes, we'll be over there in about an hour. Jessica just dropped the link to Geeks and Gamers. I'll put that event up here in the next 10 minutes. I got to get a couple of errands done before that starts. So if you guys want to join us over there, I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody donating all the support. You guys are insane with the support. I don't know why you do it. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but I do appreciate that you do it. Keenan says, will Krista be there? Yes, she will, Keenan. I know you're excited. Modest Rat says, sup, gay boy. Did you see Sweeney during the Emmys? She has such a great personality. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so anyway, thank you guys so much. Have a great evening. Laughing Halfrin says, okay, last one. Whenever you guys decide to play Battlefield 6, if you need a 5th or 6th person, let me know. I'll be down and mute my mic. Noted, brother. Also, real smile bit. I'm going to show your 50 that I missed on main event tonight. And I'm going to threaten the audience if they don't send super chats, then I'm going to play the clip that you wanted. And it was the Stephen Colbert vaccine clip. Because Real Smile Bit dropped a 50 after my stream ended, asking for it. So I'm going to be threatening everyone on Tuesday night's main event with it. If they don't send me a bigger super chat, I'm going to have to play it. So we'll see what happens. But thank you guys. Have a good evening, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.